Welcome back to my views and news. Another video for you. Firstly, fighting continues in the Tigray region of Ethiopia despite peace agreement signed around 48 hours ago. On some fronts, fighting is still ongoing. We have details for you. Secondly, airstrikes as well. Airstrikes, don't strikes. On a Friday, reportedly, a place to the north of Mekelle city was hit in a drone strike. And thirdly, viewers, Ethiopian cabinet, PM Abiy's cabinet today held a meeting where peace agreement signed 48 hours ago in South Africa was discussed. Ridwan Hussein briefed regional presidents and cabinet members about this peace agreement. Firstly, fighting still ongoing in Tigray on more than one front. That is what we have learned from the ground. When the two sides agreed on stopping of war 48 hours ago, the fighting was to stop immediately. The fighting was to stop from 12 a.m. 3rd of November. But today is 4th of November and still in some areas fighting is ongoing. Front lines could not be completely frozen. What is the reason behind this continued fighting? Is it because of lack of communication between Tigray People Action Fund negotiators and on the ground field commanders, military commanders, or some TDF commanders are rebelling, or it will take some time for the ceasefire to be completely enforced? Firstly, on two fronts, fighting is ongoing. Firstly, Adwa to Abiadi, central Tigray front to the south of B30 highway. Reportedly, small-scale fighting still ongoing. And secondly, Machio front, Machio Mehoni to the north of Koram. Here also reportedly front lines are not frozen. Reason, it would be irresponsible to draw conclusions at this point of time that what is the reason behind this continued fighting, because peace agreement is in its early days. Peace agreements always take some time to be completely enforced. Are TDF commanders rebelling? Are they resisting disarmament? Again, unclear. Not in a position to say something. Tigray People Action Fund negotiators have not arrived in Mekelle so far, reportedly. And we have not seen any statement from Tigray regional government or TPLF about the peace agreement, about stopping of war. Only we heard from Getachew. He said that there must be immediate cessation of hostilities for provision of food and other basic supplies to the people of Tigray. On the ground, yes, intensity of fighting has decreased. It's not that ENDF, EDF or TDF are launching new offensives. No. Small scale fighting is ongoing. I told two fronts, there could be more as well. So it will take some time, firstly. Secondly, I think Tigray People Action Fund will have to create consensus in Tigray for the ceasefire, for the cessation of hostilities to be completely enforced. Getachew Khan will return to Mekelle. Meetings will be held. Military commanders in the field will be taken on board. So it will take some time, maybe a few days more. So that is why we should wait. It is early to say that Ethiopian federal government or Tigray Liberation Fund is violating the peace treaty. We'll have to wait. Secondly, drone strikes continue. Today, another strike was conducted to the north of Mekelle, Tigray's capital. Kilte Ovilialo is a place situated to the north of Mekelle, around 40 to 50 kilometers away from Mekelle is Kilte Ovilialo. It's close to Wukro. Adegrat Mekelle Wukro, not Wukro Mare to the west of Akson. Here, reportedly, a drone strike was conducted today. Some civilian casualties are being reported. Yesterday, some pro-Tigray news sources, some Tigray official news sources claimed that a drone strike had been conducted on Machio. But we did not see any official statement from Tigray Liberation Front, from Tigray government. Though today, Professor Kendea of Tigray External Affairs Bureau shared a tweet about drone strike on Machio after the signing of peace agreement. But then he deleted his tweet. So his tweet is not available now. But he did tweet today saying that Machio drone strike was conducted after the signing of peace agreement. So overall, situation is very volatile. Fronts will take some time to be frozen, to be completely frozen. Airstrikes and drone strikes can be a threat to this peace agreement. Fighting happens mostly when ceasefire is announced. Fighting continues for a few hours or days sometimes. But these drone strikes and airstrikes must be avoided. So far, Tigray has not officially accused Ethiopian federal government of carrying out the airstrikes, though Tigray-backed news sources are sharing this information. We must be careful about the tweets, about the information being shared by Tigrayan diaspora. Tigrayan diaspora might not like my comments, but they are overwhelmingly opposing this agreement. Why? Disarming of TDF is the main concern for them. It's not that they are against peace agreement, against peace, no. They are against disarming of TDF. And they are watching these developments closely. They are waiting for Tigray negotiators to return to Tigray, brief the diaspora. Maybe some virtual meetings are being held or could be held in coming days. If Tigrayan diaspora is not taken on board, they are planning to launch a movement. That is why information coming from Tigrayan diaspora about front lines must be re-verified. I'm not saying they're lying, but sometimes unintentionally or intentionally people share incorrect information. So overall, we cannot say that peace agreement has been enforced. Yes, intensity of fighting has decreased, intensity of drone strikes, airstrikes decreased, but front lines could not be completely frozen. Thirdly, viewers, Ethiopian PM today chaired a meeting of the cabinet, and there the peace treaty signed 48 hours ago was discussed. Ridwan Hussein briefed the participants, and Ridwan Hussein has made the agreement public as well. The same agreement which we discussed a few hours ago, I shared 4 important articles of this agreement with you: disarmament, transitional government in Tigray, and other important points I spoke on in a video a few hours ago. It is the same agreement made public by Ethiopian government. It was considered and approved by the cabinet today, federal cabinet. Why? Because in coming days, TPLF will be removed from terrorist designation. Terrorist label will be removed from TPLF. And for that purpose, there could be voting at Ethiopian House of Representatives. Now, the agreement could be forwarded to the House of Representatives. Will it be submitted to the House? That remains to be seen. But since TPLF was banned by the House of Representatives, I personally think that the House will now vote again to remove TPLF from that designation. Cabinet has approved the peace agreement.